Have you ever wondered what the world would look like if World War I never happened? Let's journey back to a world that could have been. A world where one fateful day in Sarajevo unfolded very differently. Imagine this. June 28, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand's motorcade takes a different route, completely avoiding the would-be assassin. That simple change means the spark that ignited the Great War is never lit. The dominoes of alliances never fall. Europe and the world remains at peace. In this alternate timeline, the great empires don't crumble into dust. The Austro-Hungarian Empire, instead of fracturing, evolves. It might become a federalized state, a United States of Greater Austria, granting more autonomy to its diverse peoples and ensuring its survival well into the 20th century. To the east, the Russian Empire, free from the immense pressures of war, continues its path of gradual reform. The Duma gains more power, and while social tensions still exist, the violent revolution of 1917 is averted. The Romanov dynasty might still be reigning today, perhaps as constitutional monarchs, much like the British royal family, without the insatiable demands of a global war. Technological development takes a more majestic, less militaristic path. The skies aren't filled with fighter planes, but with magnificent zeppelins, becoming the luxurious cruise liners of the air, connecting cities like Paris, Vienna, and St. Petersburg. The age of the grand ocean liner continues, with even more opulent steamships gliding across the Atlantic. Scientific progress isn't weaponized. Instead, minds like Einstein, Curie, and Planck collaborate freely across borders, accelerating a golden age of discovery for the betterment of all humanity. European diplomacy would look entirely different. Instead of trench warfare, we see grand summits. The concert of Europe, a system of diplomatic problem-solving, is reinforced. Colonialism doesn't end in bloody independence wars. Instead, we see a slow, managed process of decolonization. European powers, not bankrupted by war, might guide their colonies towards self-governance over decades, creating a global commonwealth of nations bound by trade and culture, not by force. The League of Nations, or a similar body, is formed not out of desperation, but out of a shared vision for perpetual peace. So, what would our world look like today? Cities would be different. Without the devastating bombing campaigns of 2 world wars, the classical and Art Nouveau architecture of the early 20th century would still dominate our cityscapes. Imagine Paris, Berlin, and Vienna, their historic hearts perfectly preserved and expanded upon. The cultural pessimism and existential dread that defined so much of 20th century art and literature might never have taken root. Instead, a spirit of optimism and progress could have continued, shaping a society that is perhaps more formal, more elegant, and more confident in its own future. This Pax Europaea, or European peace, would have created a 20th century of stability and gradual change, not one of violent revolution and ideological conflict. Of course, this is all just speculation, but it's a powerful reminder of how a single moment, a single turn of a wheel, can change the course of history forever. The world we lost in the summer of 1914 was one filled with incredible promise, a world that never was. What do you think this peaceful world would be like? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy exploring the what-ifs of history, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more.